To Bill Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bill Johnson. We have a half hour this morning and I am really excited for it. I am a motivational speaker, which means that I get to do this job pretty much every day of the year. I go around and I speak to schools and students, and in the summertime I work with conferences. But sometimes when people hear that I'm a motivational speaker, they're like, whoa, you're amazing. And that's not really the deal. I'm just like you, because, in fact, to start stuff out today, I want to share with you, maybe just down a little bit more. That was kind of fun. Cool. To start off today, I want to share with you one of the worst experiences I've ever had as a speaker. I'm going to bring you back to when I was 20 years old and I was invited to speak at Shawville, Quebec. It's the first time I'm ever speaking outside of the US, and I'm headed to a place called Pontiac High School. Now when I say Pontiac, you think what? Yeah, absolutely, cars. Somebody over here said monster trucks, and we should talk later, but that's kind of weird. So I'm headed to the high school, and it's my first time speaking outside the country, and I'm super excited. And I drive up, and I'm like, okay, so as I'm driving up to the school, what's their mascot? Because a car is a really weird mascot. It's not like, reverse, now drive. We're gonna run you over. That's weird and illegal. So what could it be? So cars are a weird mascot, but cars have engines, and engines have horsepower. So yeah, maybe they're horses. Yeah, like the Mustang or something. So yeah, they're the Pontiacs. And I show up to the school, there are 600 students. They're all sitting in on the gym floor, and I'm sitting in with them. Before we get started, they have a small presentation. They're like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring up Johnny and Susie, the students of the month. And let's give them a big Pontiac High School congratulations. It was the smiliest person I've ever seen in my life. And all 600 students immediately began to clap because they're normal human beings. But I was there as the speaker trying to make an impact. So no, I didn't clap. I whinnied like a horse at the top of my lungs. I went, 600 sets of eyes went, and were looking at me like, what's wrong with this guy? And I'm like, you know, horses, like Pontiacs, like Mr. Ed. We ride them in the prairies. Look! And up on the side of the wall, in intersecting triangles, it said Pontiac High School, pride, excellence, passion, Panthers. Oh. How many of you have ever had one of those moments where you come into it thinking you're going to be like, ooh, and it ends up more like, ooh. How many of you, yeah? Absolutely. Seventh graders are awesome. They never know whether to raise their hands or stuff. They're like, maybe now is one of those moments. I don't know what's going on. Very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just like you, but I've had a couple of experiences in my life, and I want to share some of those with you today. Everything we're going to talk about, I want you to remember this message. To do good, you actually have to do something. Okay, to do good, you actually have to do something. I'm seeing grade 8s. Where are my grade 8s at? Present. Very nice. So grade 8s, I'm seeing some of you, and you're like, wait a minute. So you're saying to do good, I actually have to do something? I already knew that. You took me out of math class for this? Thank you. I'll collect my $5 later. Ladies and gents, to do good, you actually have to do something. But something that prevents us from taking on new experiences is something called fear. And whenever I talk about fear, you know, some people think that fear is something like jumping off of a cliff. And with no safety gear, I would be afraid of that too. But some people think that fear is the subject I used to teach, which is math. And some of you are like, oh, yeah. What's strange is that there are adults in this world who think that you, students and student leaders, are something to be feared. But not me. I don't think that students or math or cliff diving or skydiving are things to be feared. To me, fear is an acronym, F-E-A-R, each standing for a word, and those words are fictitious events appearing real. Say that with me, it's fictitious events appearing real. Grade 5 grammar lesson, where does the word fictitious come from? What's the base word there? Fiction. Very nice, gold star. So it comes from fiction, and fiction means that it's that it's fake, that it's not real. So, before we go any further, I need your help. What I need is for everybody to take and put your, bring your hands up, put them shoulder width apart, just in front of you. Hands up, shoulder width apart, just in front of you. So, okay, we've got shoulder width apart. Person in blue over here doesn't understand shoulder width. They're like, ah, is this shoulder width? Sorry for your faces. Okay, shoulder width apart here, folks. Shoulder width apart. What's going to happen is I'm going to count to 3. When we get to 3, just after 3, we're going to bring our hands together in what's known as a clap. If you've ever played patty cake, we're going to be okay. If you haven't played patty cake, ask a friend. I can see that there are some people who've played it. It's going to look just like this. Hands up. 1, 2, 3. Very nice. Thanks for playing along at home. That's what it's going to look like. Here we are. We're live. Everybody, hands up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Come on. Come on, folks. You're like, whoa, this guy's a ninja. He's a hand-clapping ninja. Sorry for fooling you. Tell you what, I'm going to set a bar here. I'm going to set a bar right now. We have 900 students here in the gym right now. We have your entire school. And what I want is 1 clap, 1 sound. 900 people, 1 sound. Hands up. Let's see if you can do it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. You're not even close. Hands up. 1, 2, 3. Some of us are a little late. I suggest you take a music class. Fantastic. One last time. Hands up. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Ladies and gents, I hope you see what just happened there. What happened was we set the bar, and the overwhelming majority of you met the bar. Now I'm going to raise it. You might think that that's unfair, but that's what we call life. Because anything you do, anywhere you go, people will always be setting the bar for you. And once you reach that bar, they're going to want more. So here's what I want to be more. This morning we've got 900 people here. We're going to make 1 sound, 1 clap, 1 more time. And what I want you to do is listen. Be a part of that sound, but also listen. Listen to the amount of time it takes for that clap to happen and go away. It's really, really cool. Here we go. Be part of the group. Be part of something larger than yourself this morning. Hands up. 1, 2, 3. Did you catch it? I hope you did. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that fears are these fictitious events appearing real. And I believe that it's the exact amount of time for that sound of a clap to happen and go away. That's the same amount of time it takes for you to realize that those fears are fictitious events appearing real. So what are fears? Fears, very simply, are opportunities. Opportunities for you to learn and grow in your home life, school life, life with your friends or your family, whatever it is you choose to take advantage of an opportunity with is going to be a good thing. It's going to give you that opportunity to learn and grow. I want to talk to you about one of the first times I figured this out. I'm going to bring you back to when I was playing 7th grade basketball. How many of us here played 7th grade basketball? Very nice. How many of us have a friend who played 7th grade basketball? Cool. How many of us have heard the word 7th grade basketball? Now we've got everybody. Very nice. Ladies and gents, I grew up here in North Dakota, the land that is so flat we could watch our dog run away for 3 days. I'm from Minot originally. Boo, later. But I went to Jim Hill Middle School and I was on the 7th grade basketball team. I made the A team, not because I'm a baller, but because they needed people with a pulse. Our team, smallest to tallest, was David, Blake, Eli, myself, and a guy named Andrew Goodmanson. It's funny, every time I say his name, Andrew Goodmanson, I've got to make that noise because Andrew was the best at sports in the school. Quarterback of the football team, A team for basketball, and by the time he was in 8th grade, he was already playing on our varsity baseball team. He was really, really good. Andrew was so good at basketball that they made him a shooting forward. I got to be the center, and it was awesome, but it's also 7th grade, and puberty had just hit, and one arm was like longer than the other, and you keep tripping over that same line in the hallway, you stupid line. And that voice thing is happening to you and your friends at the worst possible moments. Hey, there's a school dance this Friday, do you want to go? I'm going to go put myself in my locker. 7th grade, we're not the best team in the world, but we're not the worst. We're winning more games than we're losing. It comes time for us to play against the Bismarck Middle School, Simley Middle School. And we're warming up that day, and we're like, woo! It's stuck. Coach! And we yell at our coach. Our coach at the time was a guy named Mr. Danielson. Mr. Danielson is an older gentleman who didn't really speak English or any other discernible language. Just sounded a bit like Chewbacca. Yeah, but what about the ball? I don't know, you go. The next kid comes up. Woo! Went over the backboard. Never mind. We're warming up for the game when in walks what I believe to be a professional basketball team. These guys are ducking to get into our little gym. Have you ever seen Space Jam? Those guys. We all stop, we've got the ball under our arms, we're like, dude. Oh, they have hair under their arms. Coach, they've got hair here. Okay. Now I'm the center, which means at the beginning of the game I get to be part of the center jump to start off the game, the jump ball. So I'm walking in, I'm like, yeah, boys, here we go. I'm staring at kneecaps. You're huge. Andrew, you're going to jump this one. So Andrew comes in, gets into his lowest Andrew crouch, ref tosses up the ball, and like a bird, like a plane, it's not Superman, it's Andrew Goodmanson. Ah! He is flying up toward the ball, the other guy doesn't even leave the ground, grabs the ball, tosses it to his teammate, we're like, ah! Here's how the game went. You see, we were short, but we were slow. And by halftime, we were only down by 10. I say only because I was surprised too. In the third quarter and fourth quarter, we start to battle back. Fourth quarter, less than a minute left on the clock, we're down by 4 points. Then pretty soon, we're down by 3 points. Down by 2 points. Eli, my good friend, finds himself outside the 3-point line. Switch. We were down by 2, just scored a 3, so we are... Would you believe me if I said I've been to schools where kids go, what? There was a kid that said, you're winning by 7! And I wanted to play basketball at his school. We're up by 1. They very quickly take the ball, and in 3 or 4 passes, boom, 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 they're down to the other end. Basket. Less than 30 seconds left on the clock. They go into a full court press, guarding us up and down the court. Here's what happens. David takes the ball out of bounds, passes it into Eli. Eli dribbles around a little bit, gets it over to Blake. Blake is turning, looking for an open man. The Monstars are coming at him. He finds Andrew, passes it to Andrew in the middle of the court. Who's not involved yet? Me. Why? Because I stank at basketball and in real life. You see, my entire job during a press break was to go long, otherwise known as get lost. First time they told me this, I ran out of the gym. They were like, too long, Bill. You're not Free Willy. I am under our hoop. Well, hello. I am under our hoop wide open. Because by this point in the game, the other team has figured out that don't guard that kid, he smells funky. Andrew turns around, and I should let you know that when we graduated in 2005, Andrew went to the University of Nebraska, joined the Cornhuskers Division I NCAA baseball team as a pitcher, because he has a fastball of about 94 miles an hour. So all the noises I'm about to make in my head, very, very real. Andrew turns around, sees me wide open, and goes, Bill, catch. This thing's coming at me like a heat-seeking missile. And I am hanging out under the basket going, what's up? I wonder what we're gonna have tomorrow for lunch. I hope it's tater tots. All I heard was, Bill. I've got the ball. I've got the ball. I've got the ball. Why am I freaking out? Because usually that pass comes and takes off my face. You'd be freaking out too. But remember, when we started this whole thing, there were 30 seconds left on the clock. When I get the ball, there are 5 seconds left on the clock. And I'm freaking out. It's like 5, 4, 3, got the ball. 2. If you would have seen all of the other members of my team, they're down at the other end going, shoot the ball! every single member of the parental crowd, everybody in the crowd, they're going, shoot the ball! And my parents are up in the stands going, whose kid is that? My coach is standing on the sideline going, the other team is going, is that kid dancing? What a weirdo. 2, 1, I look up at the scoreboard, see that there's 1 second left on the clock, we are down by 1. I have the opportunity to take the game-winning shot. And I'm going to take that shot. So I immediately become my favorite basketball player, Michael Jordan, tongue out. And I throw up the ball. Let's be honest, it was probably more like this. But the ball went up and up and up. And hit the bottom of the rim. And came back and back and back into my face. When I woke up, there was blood everywhere. And my coach was standing over me going, which I found very comforting. Some of you are like, okay, number 1, Bill, you're a weirdo. Number 2, you said at the beginning of the presentation that we should take advantage of opportunities because that's a good thing. But I don't see how losing a basketball game and breaking my face are somehow a good thing. And I'd be with you because at the end of that game, I didn't want to go on. I didn't want to try anything else. I thought I was a complete failure. And it wasn't until a couple days later that I figured out this thing that I'm about to tell you. It's called the first step philosophy. Say that with me. It's the first step philosophy. First step philosophy runs like this. It says, no matter what you do in life, the first time you try will always be the toughest. And that every time after can be easier. Not necessarily will be easy, but can be easier. I found that out when we came down and we had a game. A couple weeks later, we were playing against Horizon. We are down by 1, 3 seconds left on the clock. I have the ball again under the hoop. I'm not sure why. Maybe they forgot about the last game. But I've got that chance again. I have that opportunity. And remember, to do good, you actually have to do something. So I'm going to take that shot again. And this time, I threw the ball up. And it went up and up. Up and hit the bottom of the rim and came back and back and back, and this time I dodged. Ladies and gentlemen, we lost the game, but I was still awake for it. Some people think that when a motivational speaker comes in and they're like, hey, to do good you have to do something, that you must then go out and cure the world of some ailment. You're like, okay, hunger, it's ended by Friday. Everyone's being nice to each other, and we kicked butt for something. Woo! I'm not going to say that to you. Ladies and gents, to do good, you actually have to do something. And don't get me wrong, you need to do something. Because here, right now, at Horizon Middle School, especially at the start of your kindness week, you will have opportunity after opportunity to take a chance, to take and put yourself out there, to gain some experiences and learn about stuff. Because after taking all of these chances, after taking that first step philosophy into account and knowing that the first time is going to be the toughest, but that each time after can be easier, I hope you take those opportunities. Take those opportunities to be kind to not only yourself, but your peers and your teachers and the custodians. Be nice to your principal. He brought me in. Be nice to your siblings. Right? This is your kindness week. And awesome things can happen when you are kind. I want you all to listen to just one more story. Ladies and gents, when I was about 22, I went to Fargo South High School. I've got a younger brother. His name is Patrick. He's one of the coolest kids that I know. He was playing a football game in Fargo, and I stopped into Fargo South High School to speak, hopefully at their school. And so I walked into what I thought was their main office. Immediately there's just pressure. There's just pressure in the room, and I don't know what's going on. And I look at the secretary. Secretary, red in the face, hair's kind of flying everywhere, banging away on the keyboard. She is stressed out. turned to the kid sitting next to me. I go, hey, how you doing? And he says, oh. And I was like, he needs help. Now? I'm looking around the room, there's all this tension, there's this huge situation. I wanted to help in some way, shape, or form, so I took out my planner at the time, opened it to a blank page at the back, and made this sign. It says, "You're great." It's got a blue exclamation point at the end. All of you have this on the postcard as well. You see, what happened was I posted this up on the secretary's desk, hoping that she would look up, but she didn't look up, and didn't look up, and didn't look up, and pretty soon I heard, hey, thanks. I look up, it's somebody else in the office. They go, that's a pretty cool sign. How can I help you? And I said, well, I'm just looking to speak with somebody here in the office who could help me maybe come into the school as a speaker. And they said, oh, you're in the wrong office. You see, this is the guidance office. And today, we're registering everyone who doesn't speak English. And I was like, I know. I found that out. They go, here, let me help you. Come with me. Whoa. I made a simple sign for a secretary who didn't look, and now someone's helping me. That's really weird. She takes me down to the main office, and the main office at Fargo South is a huge place. But they disappear into the back. I didn't think anybody was there until I saw her. Third one from the left, her secretary. This secretary was named Sue. And Sue looked exactly like that first secretary. She was super stressed out. And I said to myself, Bill, first step philosophy. What small change am I going to make? How am I going to take this chance again, but smarter? And so I posted up the sign again, and this time, instead of saying nothing, I said, hey, Sue, how's your day going? And she looked up from her work. We started to chit-chat back and forth. And I saw Sue's eyes fall down and read this message. And then I watched a wave of relief pour over her. She said to me that day, thank you. You don't know how much I needed that. And really, I didn't. They were two simple words written on a piece of paper. I didn't give her a brand new car. I didn't give her $10,000. I told her, you're great. And what I do now is I travel around the country with your great postcards. And today, every single one of you should have received one of those. What I like to call this, and other people have used this phrase before, is having an attitude of gratitude. Say that with me. It's having an attitude of gratitude. And basically, we're just being thankful for the people and things around us before we ask anything of them. And so you all have your own postcard right now. And we're going to take a couple minutes. And I want you, if you brought a pen today, pen works really well on these, pencil not so much. But if you've got a pen with you, I want you to start to write your postcard to someone in your life who you could say thank you to before asking anything of them. And if you don't have a pen with you, that's okay. But I want you to think about who you would send that to. We're going to take just a minute. As we come to the end of our 30 minutes together, I want to remind you of something. At the beginning, we said to do good, you actually have to do something. You're at the beginning of an amazing week of kindness that can carry through. That is a weird sound. Do you guys keep a dragon behind that door? All I'm hearing is I expect fire to shoot through the wall right now. It's really weird. Ladies and gents, to do good, you actually have to do something. We're at the start of an amazing week. And this week, just like every week that's coming forward, is going to be full of opportunities. So face those fears, gain your experiences. And the cool thing about all that is that it's super easy. First time's going to be the hardest, and each time after can be easier. Ladies and gentlemen, you're great. My name's Bill. Thanks so much.